wet winter is only increasing the concerns about the upcoming fire season. Emergency work's underway right now to prevent another wildfire disaster. One of the largest projects underway in California, crews are thinning 2 sections of forests on both sides of Ukiah. KPIX 5's Wilson Walker live with that story for us tonight. Wilson?
Well, you know, I was standing in Middletown on Friday. The governor's laying out his plan for that state of emergency. The director of CAL FIRE is saying, look, we're going to have boots on the ground working on this as soon as next week. And it struck me as this just incredible claim that they would be that quick to mobilize on this plan. We'll take a look at what they were doing in Ukiah today.
There's a school, there's a nursery school, there's the city park.
So we're right on the edge of town.
This is the economic base of the county is right here.
On a steep, muddy hillside in a backyard on the edge of Ukiah, the Chamberlain Creek inmate crew spent this day sawing and dragging its way to yet another fire break.
And they're really just cutting a swath. We're shooting for 100 to 150 feet.
And this fire break is one tiny piece of a project with very high stakes. This is to keep a fire out of Ukiah.
That is the ultimate goal.
Battalion Chief Michael Maynard grew up here, and he has spent his entire career with CAL FIRE imagining what could be done to protect his town from the kind of fires we've seen march into Santa Rosa, Redding, and Paradise. Like those towns, Ukiah's geography and proximity to wildlands put it in tremendous danger. Just look at the state's map of wildfire risk, and this massive plan for fuel reduction here on both sides of town makes a lot of sense.
The goal is to keep a fire on the ground. We want to remove all the ladder fuel so nothing gets up in the canopy and goes tree to tree.
At more than 26,000 acres, this is the largest of the state's 25 emergency fire safety projects, all expedited by the governor's state of emergency declaration last week. But Battalion Chief Maynard says the past 3 or 4 years have changed a lot of minds here. He says the kind of fuel reduction plans that once stirred controversy now have people jumping in line.
And now it is people jump right to the conclusion and sign up and give us access to their property with no questions asked.
All right. Obviously, this all comes down to the people that live here. I'm standing with Matt Eiffert. You live up here. These crews were pretty much in your backyard today. What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. I'm glad to see them up here, and I'm glad to see that all of the neighbors are excited about it and letting them come onto their property, because in years past that hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, I get the feeling that the last 3 or 4 years have just been a real education for everyone in Northern California. I get the feeling that people up here, and we are in Ukiah, I think people here know the score and what's at stake here.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited about seeing some of the fuels reduced, and hopefully if there's ever a fire that it might be just what it takes to, save some homes.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there you go. This is how quickly this state of emergency is happening, and they're hoping to have this project done maybe in the next couple months or probably before the end of the year, depending on how the fire season goes. So that's what the state of emergency looks like. We're live in Ukiah. Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.